Hello, I am Mathew Quinn, a network security candidate here at UAT and the founder and CEO of Ransack. To begin, I'd like to share a story about the fallout a particular company had to deal with because of a ransomware attack. In 2018, a construction company, whose name is withheld for legal reasons, based here in the United States, was hit by a ransomware attack. When they came into the office, they found all of their local backups wiped, and were also locked out of any and all of their external backups. Additionally, they found scripts running that were being used for widespread encryption of their data. They contacted the FBI, and they were able to trace it back to a Russian group. Now, there was a very real threat that the hackers would release their sensitive data online, so in the end they decided to go against the FBI wishes and paid the full 7-figure ransom. Unfortunately, this is the reality of a lot of ransomware attacks. According to a survey done by Keeper, a cybersecurity company, 49% of companies are forced to pay a ransom. This comes from time-sensitive pressure because some industries such as healthcare and public infrastructure cannot afford long downtimes. Why are ransomware attacks on the rise? It's because of that number, 49%. Essentially, there is a 50-50 chance that these hackers come away with some money. Those odds have only emboldened hackers more. The product I am selling you isn't so you wouldn't have to pay hackers, it's so that you wouldn't have to deal with them in the first place. So how do we do this? Well, looking at the same statistics by Keeper, 29% of employees didn't even know what ransomware was before their companies were attacked. That is the problem that Ransack was created to solve. It was created by looking at the current landscape of cybersecurity, and what I found was a fairly large hole because there was no training courses made specifically on the topic of ransomware. The Ransack ransomware training module is meant to fill that need. The main goal of this product is to not only teach students about ransomware, but to also force them to use creative thinking to think about how to respond to attack scenarios and how to prevent them. This is done by combining all three types of learning: educational presentation for visual learners, group discussions for auditory learners, and a role-playing game for kinesthetic learners. The main tool I created was the game sheets that are used for the role-playing exercise. It is based on a Dungeons & Dragons player's sheet, but is also meant to help students apply their knowledge by solving real-world scenarios. Students will receive 2 sheets. Every student will get their own game sheet. The top half of the game sheet is meant to help students separate out key details of their given scenario, such as various industries that are most likely to be attacked, different systems or specific data that was taken, and the malicious actor's demands. The bottom section is the prevention and response section. This asks the student to map out how they would respond to their given scenario, as well as how to prevent it in the first place. And on the back, we provided lined paper so that students can keep their notes in the same place as the exercise. Then, each group of 4 students will get a scenario card. The scenarios are designated by letters, and each has a unique situation that the students will roleplay. The original target audience I had pictured while coming up with this project was employees of businesses of all sizes. While that is still an option, this training could be a little time consuming, which is why the new primary target is students. The world is evolving to be more dependent on technology, which means ransomware won't be going anywhere for the foreseeable future. This is why I believe we should train students starting around middle school age in basic computer courses, all the way through high school up to entry-level courses at the college and university level. So why use Ransack? How is it any different from the variety of other cybersecurity training out there? The way that it differs from everything else on the market is the fact that there isn't any dedicated ransomware training. There are other training courses that cover malware as a whole, but I believe with the factors such as high ransom payout and uninformed employees, that ransomware should be prioritized with its own training module. Thank you, and remember, don't let hackers ransack your network, use Ransack.